Good afternoon, everyone. It's me, Professor Narendra Kumar from Axis College, Kanpur. Now, today we are going to discuss a most important topic or the most important language, which is machine learning language and much more popular currently. Because if we are talking about the Python programming, it will consist to contain or to manage huge amount of data, because today's data is more important and the data has some unique values and unique approach to handle large or huge amount of data, just like YouTube. And YouTube, you all aware about that YouTube has much more data to manage because it contains the video terms of the data, videos and audio, video and text. And just like the if I am talking about the Facebook or the any Twitter or the social media, the huge amount of data collection will be happen at the terms of the social media network, just like Facebook. Now at that point, the YouTube will use Python programming and Netflix use Python programming and NASA will also use Python programming, and most important, most of the social media sites will also use Python programming to handle its data, just like Twitter or the Facebook. Now without any delay, we will come to the next point or the today's topic, the Python programming. And before the introduction of the Python programming, we all know about the Python programming. Python programming is high level language and it will use the interpreter concept instead of compiler concept. Then the first concept is that it is general purpose and dynamic in nature and high level language, which are also interpreted programming language. Before that, we will also discuss some points. Point number 1, compiler, interpreter, compiler, interpreter and linker and loader, other terms. Now today we are only discuss on the concept of compiler and the interpreter. If I am talking about the compiler, in the compiler based approach, just like the C programming and the Java programming, the whole code, if we consist of this much amount of code, then whole code compile at the same time, and if we are talking about the interpreted language, then it will compile or the execute or run on the basis of line by line. Interpreter execute line by line or read line by line code, and the compiler will read all the codes, all the terms in the same time. Then there will be some advantages and some disadvantages in terms of compilation and the interpreter. Now before that, we will come to the point. The first one is all clear to you, and second point, the most important point, there the Python programming also use OOPS concept, that is object oriented programming language. Then we all, before that, I will also clear one point. There will be the procedural language and OOPS approach language. Then if we are talking about the procedure language, the C programming is procedure language and Python programming is based on procedure as well as object oriented programming language. Must remember this thing. And now 2 points are clear, and come to the next point. It is simple, just like that. It is simple and easy to learn and also easy to use. The difference, most important difference between the other language with Python programming language, if it is very easy in terms of syntax or the some lower character, and the if I am talking about the case sensitive concept, then it will also less case sensitive concept will be used in Python programming. And also, if we are talking about the Python programming, if you know the English terms, if you know English language, then you can easily programming in Python programming language. Because if, for the point of view, one example, if you use A is less than B, A is less than B, but we will also use that concept on C, C++ and Java. But we also use A less than B. It will also used by the or the interpreted by the Python programming language, but not in these particular languages. Then that is the most important part. If you know the English of that particular syntax, then you can easily make a program in Python programming language. Next, it is simple and high level data structure. High level data structure approach will also used by the Python programming language. And the next point, it is Python is easy to learn yet powerful and versatile scripting language. Versatile scripting language too, and it make an attractive application development manager. We will discuss some points with which will clear all these particular points. And the next point is the Python syntax is very easy and dynamic type. Very easy in nature and dynamic type. That's why Python is easy to learn and easy to use. And on the basis of interpreted concept nature, it will also reflect the error one by if you have any error or the bugs in any particular line, then it will also indicate before the execution of that particular line or the program. Then it also ideal in the sense of it completely use the English language concept. That's why it is script and rapid application development. Why? Because it doesn't use unwanted syntax which will used by the other programming language like C and C++. Then it will reduce the length of that particular code with minimizing the some other syntax. And now come to the next point. Python supports multiple programming approach. We will use on the basis of the integrated concept. If you have any program in .NET, C and Java and other language, then it will also compiled with the help of Python programming, just like that. And object oriented concept, we all know about the object oriented programming concept. Then it will do some procedural programming style too. It is use object oriented approach as well as procedural approach too. Then come to the next point, the programming, Python programming life cycle. Python programming life cycle. If we are talking about the Python, then first we have to design or the program or the problem definition. We can first of all define the problem statement. Then after that we will assign problem analysis, programming problem analysis approach, and after that we will develop the algorithm which will perform or the minimize the concept of the problems analysis by the problem statement and problem algorithm development. Before any prototype or the any construction point of view or the project programming point of view, we will first analyze the concept and develop the algorithm for that particular program. Then after the programming or before the programming, we will develop the algorithm for that particular program. Then we will use the coding concept and the definition of for the documentation of that particular code. That is most important because it contains two concepts. First one, coding of that particular algorithm, and documentation of that particular program. Documentation is necessary to explain what type of program is that and which type of services will be provided by that particular program. And now after that we will go for the testing. After the designing of any program, we will go for the testing and debugging. If there is no doubt or the no error or the bugs in that particular program, then we will go to the maintenance purpose, and if we have any bugs in that particular program, then we will maintain or minimize the bugs of that particular program and do the same concept repeatedly. Then come to the next point. I hope it will understand to you. Now the most important part, why learn Python? Why not C or C++ or Java? The most important part, because the first is it is easy to learn, because it is easy to use and easy to learn, and expressive language, because it is, if we use syntax point of view, or it will use less amount of mathematical terms, or we can say it will contains huge amount of libraries, and on the basis of libraries we will reduce the cost or the timing of that particular program. And third one, interpreted, as I told you, interpreted and compilation problem, and the interpreted language, object oriented programming language with the help of class and object. If I am talking about the object oriented programming language, then object oriented approach will use polymorphism, inheritance, abstractions and encapsulations concept for that approach. Open source, this is the most important. Maybe you know or know about that particular approach. Then just wait a minute. Open source, there are two types of application software available in that particular market. Then first one is open source, and second one is paid. if you want to use that particular software, then you have to pay to that particular company which is developed that particular software. And open source is free to all, and you have, if we use any open source software, then we can modify it without any terms and conditions, and you can add on or minimize or anything, just modify in that particular software. And if you want, you cannot change anything, you cannot change anything that any particular software which is paid by the any company, just like Microsoft. And if I am talking about the Linux point of view, then it will be modified by any person or even you or me. Then extensible language concept and learn standard libraries. We will use different types of libraries. We also discuss in that topic or this video. And GUI approach, there are that one is most important part. I will discuss some points in that point. GUI, graphical user interface, and second one is console based approach. If we are working on the manually point of view, just like DOS or Unix, then we will go for the console application point of view. And if we are go for the Linux or Windows 7, 8 or Mac 2, then we will go for the GUI approach will provide the better look and feel concept, or better using or the user concept. Just like that, in GUI approach we will just click on that button and will perform that particular task. Just like if we install an application of WhatsApp, then we will just click on that icon of that WhatsApp application, then we will just stop and that program will also run after some times. But if we will use the console base, we will enter each and every approach by manually. There is the two concept. First one is user concept or the front end, or second one is back end. Front end and back end. Front end and back end. But there is only back end front end concept will be used, but on the basis of manual input. There is no manual input, just click on that button and this will perform the each task which will provide by that particular software. And also integrated, it will also, this is most important, which is defines or the differences between the other languages. Integrated means it will compile or provide the run the program or the project of which is write in C, C++, Java or any other language. Then it will integrated the concept of the integrated approach. Embeddable, because if we are talking about the machine learning language, if we design any robot or any machine which is automatically run the concept or any approach which is just like for the example point of PCB board, we will design any motherboard, we cannot design by the human being any motherboard, because it is tiny connections between and tiny particles or the tiny items which will use in that, just like mobile phones chip. And if on the basis of enable programming, it will design micro to micro chips. And dynamic memory allocation, there are two concepts which will use in terms of the memory allocation. First one is calloc. Second one is malloc. This is calloc and malloc, which will used in C programming language. But if we are talking about the Python programming, it will also dynamically allocate the memory for the particular data types. If we have any data types, we will assign, for example point of view, if we have any array of size 5 and we will contain 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 approach, it will use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 address. And if, just wait a minute, 5, and if we cannot assign, cannot assign any value in that, then it will work as a dynamic in nature. And if we'll assign any value in particular that block, then it will work as a static memory allocation. Okay, that will be the concept of dynamic memory allocation or the memory allocation approach. And it will also provide wide range of libraries and the frameworks. In programming field, this approach is much more important for the programming point of view, because with the help of frameworks we can design different types of applications, just like the web application, console application, Windows application, or desktop applications, or application softwares and utility softwares, different types of software on the basis of the frameworks. And the library will provide the predefined programs or the some terms, just like the, if we want to work on any mathematical approach, then we will use NumPy library. And if we want to use any scientific calculation, then we will use SciPy application or the library. The most important features of Python programming is it will provide the huge amount or the huge range of library with different terms. And now come to the next point, applications of programming language. Then if we are talking about the Python programming, it will develop on the basis of the data science. Data science is huge amount to collect the data or manage the data in terms of the data warehouse or the data mining, data visualization and the data collection, data maintenance. It will use the, at the current scenario, the data science is most important field in terms of computer science field. And data mining, it also belongs to the storing the data on any database software or the database server. And desktop application, Python programming also used to develop the desktop applications and it also used to make any console based applications too, and mobile application to design or develop mobile application Python programming also used. And software development, any type of software just like the ERP or any other application or the any website, any software which is application programming software will also design or programmed by the Python programming language. And the most important point, the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. If we want to assign or make any robot or any electronic machine which will perform the self execution concept or the self development of any concept, just like that chipboard or any designing board or the any building board, then we will use the artificial intelligence. In terms of artificial intelligence or AI intelligence, the concept, the machine will also self develop each and every concept which will design for that particular electronic device, whether it is robot or any machines. Now the next point is web application language. Web development or web application development, the website designing. Website designing is also part of the web application which is also used or developed by with the help of the Python programming language. Now if we are talking about the enterprise application, we also use ERP applications. We will also develop any ERP application or ERP sites with the help of Python programming. It also provides the huge range of applications. That's why currently all the world or most popular language is Python programming language. Now come to the next point, the 3D CAD/CAM applications. We will assign, if we are talking about the architecture point of view or the any mechanical or electrical, electronics and civil too, then we will use CAD/CAM application to design any building structure, any framework or any structure with the help of that application. And these applications also develop on the platform of Python programming. Now the next point, machine learning language. The machine learning language will also, the concept of the TensorFlow or the different types of frameworks I will discuss with you on next PPT or next slide. Then we will machine learning, it will understand, Python programming will provide the any concept which understand the machine level concept or the machine learning, what the machine do at the, for the example point of view, if any machine design the PC board or it will contain the microchip just like the processor, or design the processor registers and flip-flops on the basis of, because to design any flip-flop there is no possibility of user or the human being interface. It will only design on the basis of machine learning basis concept. Now computer vision, to understand, to speech, just like that I am just recording the concept or the topic, that is also the computer vision concept. If you have any picture or any image or any video, then it will easily identify your face. Just you can see the approach on the Facebook or other application, which is character recognition concept and speech recognition concept. Then image, computer vision and image processing, that is concept also developed by the Python programming. And speech recognition, these concept or the application also developed on the platform of Python programming. Now, before any delay, come to the next point, the Python programming frameworks and libraries. This point is most important for each and every student and each and every person, which is for any person who want to develop any software on Python programming approach or the Python programming platform. Then it will provide the wide range of libraries and widely frameworks widely use the various fields. Just like that, I already told you the machine learning concept, artificial intelligence and web applications. Now there is some examples of frameworks and libraries. If we are talking about the libraries and frameworks, if we are using web development or we designing any website on the Python programming platform, then we will use Django, Flask and Pyramid. These are the frameworks which will provide the facility to design any web applications. And if we are talking about the GUI, graphical user interface application, that TK, then this one PyGTK and this PyJS, most important, PyJS is used. These are the frameworks which will use to design any GUI application for any particular task. And if we are talking about the machine learning, we will use TensorFlow. As I told you, for the machine learning approach, we will use the TensorFlow and PyTorch, Scikit-learn, and there are SciPy and different types of libraries we will use to design any particular approach. For the scientific calculation or the scientific application, we will use SciPy libraries. And for the mathematical calculation, or if we are going to design any mathematical concept or which is use the mathematical syntax or the equations or any terms which belongs to the mathematical, then we will use some libraries just like NumPy, which will provide the basic math concepts, and Pandas, which will provide the advanced level of mathematical calculation approach. Now come to the next point, the most important, which is most important for those students who want to learn Python in the beginning point of view, because we all know about the data types, and data types belongs to the data structure. Data structure will provide the format of that particular data types. Then data types, Python, if we are talking about the Python data types, it will divided into the some 5 concepts. First one is numeric approach, and numeric approach is also divided into 3 terms: integer, float and complex number. If we are talking about the integer, then just like 12 is integer value, float 12.5, which is contains the fractional value of any integer type. And if we are talking about the complex, and the complex is only used in Python programming. There is no concept of complex number in C programming or the C++. Then A plus ij, this is the complex number type approach. And there is the dictionary type. I will also discuss with you the dictionary type and the Boolean approach, and set and sequential type. Sequential type data types. And sequential, if we are talking about the sequential, then it will contains 2 types of approach. First one, homogeneous and the heterogeneous. if we are talking about the homogeneous, it will contain the same data types, similar data types. If we are talking about the different type of data types or the heterogeneous data types, then it will contain the different types of data or the different data types. Just like it will contain the integer, floats, or the character or strings, then it will work as a sequence type of, and in that sequence we will work on the string data types and list and tuple. Some of students will remember that there is no dictionary approach in C and C++ or the Java, no approach in set concept, tuple and list also not used in C and Java or C++. These data types only used in Python programming. Then now come to the next point. We will discuss one by one each data types. Now come to the next point, the numbers. We all know about I just discussed the definition of that particular data types, and with the help of that examples by which we can easily understand the concept of these approaches or these data types. Then now come to the numbers, and numbers will contain 0 to 9 approach, which belongs to the integer. Then the integer, float and complex values, complex numbers. Then and if we are using, we will use two terms. Just look out. Type and is instance. These are the two functions. Which will use to decide the type of that particular data types and the value of to correct the concept of data types. It will provide which type of data types we will use. Just it explain which type of data types we will use, and each instance is work on true or false concept, the Boolean concept. If we use any approach, we will discuss already discuss on the example point of view. Just we will type functions to know the data types. Type functions we will use to know the data types, and each instance function we will use to check the object belongs to a particular class. Now come to the example point. Then we will use integer type of data type. We will use integer a equal to 5, and we will perform the print function and use the type A. Then it will, on the result point of view, it will reflect the type just like class type integer, just like that. The output is just like that. Then we will use fractional value. It will reflect the type of B is float type. Then it will, this is type of complex number type data type. Then when we will print or perform this task or run this program, then it will reflect this C function C will reflect just like the data type of complex number, and each instance will confirm whether it is given data types is any particular data types or not. Just like that, each instance we will define any complex number and complex, then it will reflect this is true, the result is true because it is complex number type. And if we change something just like that, 10, just like 10, then it will reflect the false concept because for 10 is not a complex number. Okay, got it? Now come to the next point. Sequence type or the sequence type. Before that, I would like to inform you, there is, if we are talking of the data types, there are two types of data types. First one is immutable data types and second one is mutable data types. Immutable data types are those data types which cannot be altered, which is fixed. Whenever they are assigned, it cannot, any element cannot be insert in that, or any updation will not allowed after the allocation of that data types. Okay, got it? And mutable data types are those data types which can provide the facility to enter any item, insert any item, delete any item or update any item after defining or the assigning that particular data types. Okay, we will discuss further. Now come to the point, the sequence type. All the sequence type contains the string value or the sequence number, just like that. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D or C, D. Then it will contains the sequence of alphabet or characters, sequence of elements, sequence of, we will use or assign the value, or if we store these string, then it will consider as a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. These are the address of these characters. Or before that, I would like to introduce one more thing. There are two types of approach by used to call the function. We all know about the function. Then the calling the function, there are two types. First one is calling by value. We just call that any particular data types by its name. Or second one is the reference type. We cannot call that function by his or her name. We will call on the basis of their address. For example, if any classroom, there are some students are sitting on the chair, then if we call any person by the name, just like Rahul, just stand up, then the concept is we will call by the value of that particular approach. And if we don't know the name of that particular student, and we will just call, just stand up the student which is stand up the student which is belongs to the second seat and middle terms, then that particular student will stand up. That approach will work on the basis of the call by reference. We will just call the address of that particular value, and if we call by the value, then we will just call the by data type's name directly, or on the basis of call by reference, we just call that particular value in indirectional point of view, indirect or direct or indirect approach. Now come to the next point. Just wait. Now sequence, the string, and string contains the sequence of characters. String contains the sequence of character as I showed before sometimes. Then and represented in the quotation mark, and one more thing I would like to tell you, if we are assigning any string value, it will be enclosed by single quotes, double quotes and triple quotes. Any string value we will enclosed by single, double or triple quotes. There is no difference between. If we assign any single approach, single quotes, then it will also accept that consider as a string value, and if will assigning any triple quotes, then it also we consider. Just like that, if we miss out one quotes and close with the triple quotes, then it will also accept that string, which will, this approach cannot be assigned or cannot be used in C or C++ language. That is one of the most important point of Python programming. Then we can use single quotes, single, double, triple quotes to define the string. As I told you. And Python provides a built-in function. And operator to perform the string. Some built-in function also provided by the Python programming, and some operators which will perform the string values. And there are some concepts we will use, just like slicing of any string value or concatenation and the repetition. We will just check it on the basis of the example point of view. There is operator, plus operator is used for the concatenation approach, and to concatenate two strings, and Python returns the data types. Just like that, we will use hello and Python, then it will reflect just like the hello Python. Okay, got it? Okay, now come to the example. There is a string str1 which contains this value, the string this value, and second string is str2 which contains this value. How are you? Then if we will print some concept, then it will reflect some results on the, this is used for the slicing of approach. Then the first two characters of given string will reflect as a result. Okay, now if on the basis of this result it will reflect, we will use str1, not str2, then it will shows he, only he as a result. Okay. Now come to the next point, str1 fourth, then it will reflect the fourth character of that string. Fourth character 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just like that. Then it will print the fourth character of that string. Okay. Now if we will use this approach, str into 2, then it will perform the repetition of that particular string. Repetition of that particular string. It shows the result of str1. str1 is hello Narendra. Then it will returns to hello Narendra 2 times, just back to back. Okay, 2 times hello Narendra, 2 times back to back, as a result of that particular function. Okay, got it? Now come to the next. This approach will perform the concatenation of any string. Concatenation of any string. There is str1 and str2. str1 and str2. Then its result is hello Narendra, how are you? It shows this hello Narendra, how are you as a result. Okay, I think there is no confusion with you. I hope so. And if you have any confusion, any doubt, you can ask me at any time with the help of the dropping message on the chat box. Now come to the next point. List. List is also another Python data types which contains, I will explain, just listen this video carefully, because if you remember or if you listen me, then you cannot be forget any data types, because I will explain with the help of the beginning of the data types or the beginning point of view. Okay, that item, the point is that can contain the different data types. Different data types means heterogeneous data types. Now different data types means heterogeneous data types, and similar data types means homogeneous data types. Okay, don't forget that concept. Now come to the next point. The item stored in the list, are separated with the commas, and enclosed in the brackets. Just for example, if we have any list, assign any list equal to any, just like that, any string value, numeric value, 1.2, fractional value, or 2, enclosed with the square bracket. Remember these two things, separated by commas and enclosed with the square brackets. Okay, then we can use slicing. Slicing with the help of colons and square brackets. Slicing of that list, and to operate or access the data of the list, to access the data which belongs to that particular list. And for the concatenation we use plus operator, and for the repetition asterisk operator. Then now come to the example. We assign list. There are some little bit differences between the list, tuple, and the sets and the dictionary. Very little difference. Only the basis of the square bracket, enclosed by the square bracket, enclosed by the curly braces, enclosed by the parenthesis. This is the important point of view. Just remember one thing: list, always list separated, the items belongs to that particular list are separated with the help of commas and enclosed with the square brackets. And now this will shows the result, the type of data types. It will shows the result just like class type list. This type, the result is like this. Then next point is that print list 1. Then on the result basis it will just print that list 1, and there is the concept of slicing. It will reflect the starting point is third, just like that, 0, 1, 2 and 3, 0, 1 and 2 and 3. So then it will shows 2 as a result, and when we perform this slicing, then it will include 2 alphabets or the 2 sets, 2 items from the list 1 and starting with the 0. Then it will shows this as a result, 1 and high as a result. Now for the concatenation point of view, we will, for the concatenation of 2 lists, then we will use this approach. Just check it out. List 1, then it will reflect items just like that. This repeated plus this also means all the elements are denoted in the enclosed in the square bracket and are repeated 2 times for the concatenation point, because we will concatenate same string, same list, there the same elements are belongs to the or denotes 2 times. Then the repetition of, it will repeat the each and every item 3 times enclosed with the square brackets. Just listen these points. Now come to the next point, tuple. Tuple is also important because if we use the tuple, it will reflect the some definitions. The tuple is the similar to the list in many ways, similar to list, but there is a little bit difference, like separated with commas, just the same like as a list, but enclosed with the parenthesis. There is a difference, enclosed with the parenthesis, and one more is collects the different data types which is similar to the list, but there is only one difference, where list are enclosed in square brackets and tuples are enclosed, items in tuples are enclosed in the parenthesis. There is only one difference between the list and the tuple. And a tuple read only data types. Read only means immutable data types. Immutable data types. We cannot insert any item in tuple after assigning the value to its tuple when defining the or the declare the any tuple. We will also see that concept in example point of view. Now come to the point, the structure. We cannot modify the size and value of item of a tuple. we cannot modify any item, any value in tuple. That's why these are the immutable data types. Then now come to the example. We have, this is the definition how to define any tuple. Just remember one thing, if we want to design or define any data types like tuple, then we will assign the separated elements in the tuple separated by the comma and enclosed with the parenthesis. Remember. Now come to the next point. This will reflect the type of that data types, Now next point, it will just print the elements in tuple in parentheses, and now the other concept is slicing concept, which will also use just like the list, starting with 1 and ending with nothing, null, or it will reflect the 0, 1, 2, then it will print that one. Okay, and slice, sorry, this will, 0, 1, then it will shows high, it will shows as a high as a result. Then come to the next point. For the tuple concatenation, we will perform this function to concat any tuple. Okay? It will reflect the result as a tuples high Python 2, then high Python 2 as a result. Then this is the repetition of tuple, just like this list, and when we add something, when we want to add some item in tuple, then it will reflect an error. Which type of error? The error is that this data types cannot perform immutable. This data type belongs to the immutable data type. It cannot add any type of items in that particular tuple. Okay. Now come to the next point. Dictionary. Dictionary is also an important data types, and it is mutable data types. Mutable. Tuple is not mutable data types. Dictionary is mutable data type. Remember one thing, those data types which is belongs to immutable, it cannot be insert, it cannot be altered, it cannot be deleted. But the item belongs to mutable data type, it can be insert any item in that particular data types, delete any item in that particular data types, or modify any item in that particular data types. Okay. Now dictionary are unordered set of key value pairs. Remember one thing, key values which contains a key, and that key belongs to a particular value, just like that. Check it out. The dictionary denotes just like that. Before that, just look on some points which is essential or necessary for defining any dictionary data type. Now it is like an associative array or hash table, where each value contains a key. Each key store a specific values. each key stores a specific values, and key can hold any primitive data type, any primitive data types where the value क्या है, value is arbitrary Python oriented object, Python object. Then the items in dictionary are separated with commas, separated with commas and enclosed with curly braces, enclosed with curly braces, separated by commas and enclosed in curly braces. Remember these things. Now come to the example. There, come to the example. We assign or define a data type which is dictionary type of data type, which contain the key and the value. One work as a key and value contains as value. Key value pair, yeah, just like that, key columns and value, key columns and value. Okay, I think it's all right, and we will perform some task. First of all, we print the dictionary type, then it will reflect this result as a result, this value as a result, and we will perform some task on the basis of keys, just like the first name of key 1 is first name of dictionary 1, it will shows Narendra as a result. This will shows Narendra as a result, and for this the second name is key value is 4, then 0, sorry, just like that, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Then it will shows the key values, the key value of 4 stores the value mini, it will reflect as a result. The mini is for the result of that particular line. And now we will perform this task, print d.keys function, then we will shows all the keys as a result, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the result of that particular line, and when we perform that particular line, then it will just show the values of the dictionary, then it will reflect Narendra, Apurva, Arjun and Mini as a result. Okay, got it? This is very easy and very simple approach to understand the Python data types. Now, Boolean data types. If we are talking about the Boolean data types, these are the logical data types, and Boolean data types always correct or the terms on the basis of whether it is correct or not, whether it follow the conditions or not. If follow the condition, then it will reflect as a true result, as a true, and if it cannot be follow the terms or rules or the conditions, then it will shows as a result. There is only two terms, true or false, true and false as a Boolean function. Then it will denotes the two values, only two values, and it will built-in values, two built-in true and false values, and it will provides the non-zero values for the false, and for the non-zeros it will shows the false value, just like that. Just come on the example. There is the example to check the Boolean type. It will reflect Boolean type, then it will shows just wait a minute, it will shows the type of that particular, it will shows the Boolean type of data types as a result, and the type false, it will shows this is not the Boolean type, and for the false it will reflect on the basis of data type. To check just Boolean functions or the Boolean data types will only use whether it is follow the conditions or not, just follow the conditions or not. If it follow the condition, it shows the true value. If it is not follow the condition, it will shows the false values. Okay. Now come to the next, sets. Sets is most important data types in Python programming, and it is also the mutable data types. Mutable data types, just like that, Python sets is unordered collection of data types. Unordered means ordered, and unordered means heterogeneous data types, and ordered means homogeneous data types. Simple concept. And now the next point is, it is iterable and mutable, cannot be, this is the wrong term. Mutable, it can be modified. It can be modified. Mutable, it can be modified or after creation of that particular data types. Then has unique elements. It is also work as a function. Then come to the next point, the set order of the element of the undefined and returns the sequence, change of the sequence in the elements. Okay. Now it is also built-in function, just like set, built-in function, and user-defined functions too, and it will the sequence, the element of sequence with curly braces, enclosed with the curly braces, heterogeneous data types and enclosed in the curly braces. And similar thing is that elements are separated with the help of commas in all data types. Okay. Now separated by the commas. These are the similar concept for the each and every data types. Now come to the example. We will assign for the creating a set like a function, and we also assign the value of set like that, and separated by commas and enclosed in the curly braces. And now we will print the set value, then it will reflect the set values of set 2. It will shows the set values of set 2 as a result, and this will perform to add because it is mutable type. data types, then it will add, it will perform, it will accept the terms just like insert any item in set, delete any item in set, and modify or alter any item in set data types. Then it will add 10 in set 2, and it will remove after adding the set value, after adding the value in set 2, then it will reflect naren 2, 3, Python and 10. Okay, or then it will print like that. Then if we perform the remove function, then set 2 dot remove 2, remove any element which is belongs that one 2, then it will, after removing the 2, then it will shows naren 3, Python and 10 value as a result. Okay, I think this is all clear to you. There is some keywords. The most important term in any programming language, the keywords. If we are talking about the keywords are the predefined terms or the functions which is already defined during the programming of that, during the designing of that particular programming language. That is built-in functions. Built-in functions that cannot be used as a user. That cannot be used as a user. Just like that. For the example point of view, for the English language, if we show any apple or banana, then each and everyone said that it is apple and it is banana. There is no name, no other name in that particular language. Okay, just like that, when we design any programming language, we will assign some keywords which has fixed values, and it cannot be defined by the another values. Okay, there are some functions which is the special meaning of and specific operations, special meaning and perform for the specific task or the any operation, and keywords cannot be used as a variable. Keywords cannot be used as a variable or data types. Now there are some keywords which is true, false. These are the keywords. It has fixed values. None, asset, def, class, else, finally, elif, del, except, continue, break, and as, and global to define the global variable and local variable, and global class and local class. Global variable, we will use the keywords global. Okay, for the for loop, if and elif for the conditional statements, and from and import to import any library for any particular project or for any particular program, and res, try, or return, pass. These are the functions or keywords too. And non-local, in, not, is, and lambda functions. Lambda is most important because it is only used in Python programming. Okay, it is also called as a lambda function, which is most important data type. No, a function, not a data type. Function, most important function, which is used only in Python programming, not in Java, C, or other programming language. Now come to the next point. There are some keywords which is used as a function. Def, which is defining any function. If we define any function, we will use def as a def stand for definition type. Then def, it is used as prefix of that particular function, just like that. Def sum, we will use, always use def just like that. Just check it. There we will assign a function by name myFun. Then it will contains the two variables a and b, and it will use another variable which will perform as a sum of a and b. Then the print c, then call my function a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Then it will shows c equal to 30 as a result. Okay. Now next point is continue, and it is continue and break. These are the most important functions which is widely used in each and every program or any loop or any conditional statement. If we are talking about the continue function, then it is used to stop the execution of that current iteration. It will stop the stop the statement, just like that. We will discuss this concept. We understand this concept with the help of the example, then it will easy to understand. Then just like that, a equal to 0, and while a is less than 4, a equal to a plus a equal to a plus 1. The same, a equal to a plus 1, and if a equal to 2, when we use the continue, where we want to stop that particular execution or iteration or any loop, the point where we want to stop any executive function, then the iteration will perform for the 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2 and 3, because a is less than 4. Then we will also assign, if a equal to 2, it will continue. Then print the function. Then it will stop this function, their functions, when the value is reached equal to 2. Then it will stop that particular execution or for the functions. Then another concept is break. The break concept we will use to terminate any loop, at a particular time or the particular value. Break is used to terminate the loop execution and control transfer of n to the loop. It will terminate any loop at the particular point. We will also discuss on the basis of example, just like that. For I in range 5, if I equal to 3, then break. Just like that, it will perform 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Loop perform for loop perform up to the 5 iteration, but the condition is that if I is equal to 3, it equal to 3, then it will terminate. It will terminate the functions. It will execute only for 0, 1 and 2. Okay, got it? The end the execution. It shows the end of execution. Now come to the next point. If statement. These are the belongs to the conditional statements. These are belongs to the conditional statements. Conditional statements are those statements which will used for to perform for the specific point function. If the condition is true, then it will execute the function, and if it cannot be follow the function or the follow the condition, or then it will terminate the program or the loop or any iteration. Okay, just like that. If just like that, just listen one thing. If I equal to 0, if I equal to 0, then if yes, then it will execute the statement. Otherwise, no, it will terminate the statement. It will stop and terminate the statement as a result. Okay, got it? Then when the if statement returns the false, then else block is executed. Else or no block is executed. Okay, if the statement example is that if I equal to 18 and if 1 is less than 12, I am less than, there is only I, not 1, I. Okay, if I is less than 12, then I am print I am less than 10. Otherwise, there is no response, there is no result for that particular statement. Okay, if we are talking about the else function, then else will shows the two terms, just like if statement. Then it will also contain the if statement. If, just like that, if I equal to 0 or I is less than 1, just like that, I is less than 2, then it will shows the S and it will go for the true. S means S or true statement, it will shows the print the that statement. And if it shows the false statement, false, then it will go for the false statement, just print the false statement. Okay, it will shows the output. Okay, got it? Now there is one more approach. Before that, we will discuss the if else statement. N equal to 11, n is equal to 11, and if n percent 2 equal to 0, then the print the number is even odd number program. Then if else, then it shows odd number. Just the concept of that program is or even to find the number is given number is even or odd. Then it will perform just like the if else statement. Okay. Now come to the next point, elif. Elif is the another conditional statement which is used as a ladder of if else, if else, if else, if else. Okay, when we perform many terms or many conditions, we use many conditions in a single program to perform for the each and every point, then we will use elif ladder. Okay, the keyword is used to check the multiple conditions. As I told you, check the multiple conditions, and it is sort of else if. Then if the previous condition is false, then check the until true condition is found. It will check whenever it go for the false condition, it will check for the another condition, and until it will execute all the conditions until it will gain the any true value. Okay. Now come to the example. Example is that this example is mark equal to input, because we will use this is the function, this is the term when we perform any user input data type. There are two types of data type, predefined data type or pre or built-in functions, or predefined data types or user defined data types. Whenever we use the predefined data types, then we will just use a equal to 5, just assign the value of that particular value or the data type. If we want to input of a by the user decide what type of data type he want to enter. It is totally user defined data types or work as a user defined data type. Okay, just like marks equal to integer, input type integer, or if we use a float, then we will use float in terms of instead of or in place of integer. Then enter the marks. Then if marks is greater than or equal to 90, then it will shows the excellent. And if marks is less than 90 and marks is greater than or equal to 75, then it will shows very good, print as a very good. And if marks are less than 75 and greater than equal to 60, then it will shows good. And if else print the average marks you have received or any examination. Now this is all about today's topic or the today's classes. We will also discuss all the terms. If you have any doubt, any confusion, you can talk to me, and you can visit my YouTube channel or any medium which will on the basis of you will check or watch the message or video, then you can talk to me. And if you have any doubt, you can discuss with me, you can drop message to me, and we will sort each and every problem. Thanks to all. Thank you.